Good day, fam, faves, likes, and loves, and those souls I have yet to meet. This is Jeffrey DeShawn, the Inspired Muse, with your Tuesday Pep Talk. This week's Pep Talk has been inspired by a word of wisdom that a mentor shared with me, and that is about relationship building, and particularly opportunities when we want to be intentional about strengthening relationships or trying to figure out the levers for building a stronger relationship or a more effective communication flow within a relationship. And this is for any relationship, personal, professional, with colleagues, and our communities and our civic engagements, whether those that we work with in our faith communities and houses of worship, fraternal organizations, volunteer entities. There might be sometimes there's some folk that, we're trying to figure out, how do I work with them? Or there's sometimes, like in these moments, where we're called in to drawn into our houses with our partners and spouses that we don't spend, 8 to 10 hours of our day with, that now we're having to spend, more times of our day with, and we're figuring some things out. And one of the best tools that I've been given by my mentor is that projects and problem solving can be the best relationship strengthening tools, the best relationship clarity tools. If we want clarity on where this relationship is this a relationship that is contributing to me? Find a project, find a problem that you can be intentional about actively engaging with that other person or persons. So for those of us who may be reflecting on that with those that we cohabitate with, I'm sure there's some problem that we haven't, been able to find the time and the space to sit down and resolve or address together. It doesn't have to be a problem between the two of us. It could be, somehow we don't get the trash out every Tuesday and we end up off on a cycle. It could be somehow we run down, out of the last Ziplocs and we're all like, oh, shoot, we need a Ziploc. We have none. Or it could be some project with a colleague that you've been trying to figure out, how do I begin to establish a relationship with this colleague? Well, try this approach. Identify a project or a problem that you perceive or know that you both have an investment in the solution in, right? The solution to that project or problem, would benefit you both. Or by launching this project, it would address something that you both care or like or care about. And take the opportunity, as we have, time, as we should be all self-quarantined if we're not first responders and medical personnel and those essential who are keeping the flow of life and products flowing. For those of us who are, in our homes and caregiving for our loved ones, take some time and think about what's a opportunity of a project that you can engage with that individual or person, or what is a problem that you and that person might be able to work on and solving together. And then be intentional and proactive about reaching out to them. If it's a colleague, so say, hey, I was thinking about this and I found myself, since we're home, we were working remotely, some bandwidth. Would you like to have a conversation about this particular issue? I think you have expertise in that, or I know we've both been tackling or working on that. Could be a community project or issue, and the same thing. Oh, I've always wanted to reach out to this person because I've been curious about establishing or reconnecting a relationship. Well, now is the time. Gift yourself that opportunity to strengthen some of those relationships that you've been desiring to strengthen, or build some of those relationships that you've been desiring to build. And you can do that by identifying a problem that you could solve together or a project that you could engage. Now, it doesn't have to be something major or big that's going to become, some new nonprofit or some new business enterprise. It could be simply, it could be a relative, and how do we get food regularly to auntie or uncle? It could be anything. But is this the opportunity to be intentional about strengthening and building relationships that we desire to sustain and maintain, particularly in this time of social distancing where we can't count on our regular happenstance schedules to bring us together with people that we may have been hoping to resolve issues with, or have been hoping to actually build relationship. So now isn't the time to sit on your hands and say, oh, well, when COVID is gone, then I will re-engage with that person. Then I will lean into that project or problem. Now is the time. Pick your head up. I know if you're like me, you now need some new things to focus in on, begin to create and build for what our new tomorrow will be. Well, this is a way you can start it, particularly from the lens of strengthening your relationships. Identify a project or problem that you and that person may benefit from working together on, and that may both have a vested interest in, and use that as an igniter and catalyst to strengthen and build those relationships. So that is your Tuesday morning pep talk. I am Jeffrey DeShawn, the Inspired Muse. Let's use this moment to strengthen and build those relationships we care about and we want to establish for the work and life ahead. And we can do that by identifying projects that we can launch together and problems that we can solve together. We know where we disagree, but it's always a great opportunity to realign on where we can create together. All right, as always, all things are possible and nothing is out of reach. Have a great day.